Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on the part of the world that you're living in. So, we would follow on our lessons on Python programming. We've been discussing about inputs and outputs in the previous lesson. Now, we'd continue learning about generally operators, and we'll start off with arithmetic operators. But before that, let's just discuss a bit about operators. So whenever you're using operators, there are two terms that you need to be aware. For example, let's say we have a variable known as sum that adds up to other variable values, x and y. So then in this case, um, x and y, these are known as operand. And this one is known as the operator. So there are a couple of operators that we're going to see in this lesson, which the first one is the arithmetic operator. So arithmetic operator is necessarily similar to the mathematical operators, most of them. So for example, this one is addition, which is typically the same as the mathematical addition. 5 plus 2 is 7. Subtraction also is 5 minus 2 is 3. That's exactly the same in mathematics. So for multiplication, we use the asterisk sign, and for division, we use the slash or the forward slash. So the different ones are floor division, which is a 2 slash double slash, and also the modulus operator, which is uh, percentage, and also the exponent. Let's actually discuss about a bit about the floor division. So the floor division is the quotient of what you're dividing. For example, if I divide maybe 11 by 2, then we have a quotient of 5 and a remainder of 2. So in Python, it would be 11 modulus 2. If I do this, then it's going to give me the remainder. Um, Sorry for this. This is actually supposed to be 1. The remainder is 1. So 11 modulus 2, the remainder is 1. Modulus is always holding the remainder, while the floor division is holding the quotient, which is 5. So in this example also, we can see that the remainder, the floor division of 5 by 2 is 2, and the modulus, which is the remainder, is 5 modulus 2 is 1. And exponent is also double asterisk, which is 5 double asterisk 2. That means 5 squared. That's 5 times 5, and that's 25. Okay, let's start code to crystallize the concept. Let's have two numbers, num1, that we can accept it from the user, int version of the input, and enter the first number, and num2 input, enter the second number. And then we can say sum equals to num1 plus num2. Difference is equals to num1 minus num2, and product equals to num1 times num2. And then we can just go ahead and print this. Sum, I can say comma, it's sum. Okay. To start off on a new line, we're going to start off on a new line. Um, and then say difference, comma, if. Just give it a bit of this. So I should do this. And also do the same here. And for products, um, we're also going to start on a new line. Product, comma, product. Okay, let's go run this code. Enter the first number, that should be 12, and second number maybe 3. And the sum is 15, correct. The difference is 9, that's also correct. And the product is 36. Good. Let's comment this part of the code. Do one more example, calculating the area of a rectangle. So to calculate the area of a rectangle, we need to accept the number, the lengths and the widths from the user, and then start to calculate the area from that. So maybe length equals to it could be a float to keep the accurate data. We just have to use float and enter the length, and the second data that we're looking for is the width, enter the width. And then so print area equals to length times width. Okay, so let's run it. Length is 7, the width is 3, so area is 21.0. Okay, so this is a 1 minute challenge. You go ahead and try this by yourself first, and then we're going to do it together. It's a 1 minute. Go ahead and start to do it. All right, let's do it together. So num1 equals to integer of input, and we give it a prompt of uh, enter the first number and the second number is num2. And then what we're going to do is we're going to find the quotient and the remainder. So for the quotient, what we do is num1, floor division num2. And for the remainder, it should be remainder. We're going to use num1 modulus num2, right? Let's run this, enter the first number, that should be, let's say, 12, and the second number, Uh, 5, and then the quotient is 2, that's correct, and the remainder is also 2. Assignment operator. So assignment operators are the way that we can assign values to our variables. Keep in mind that this is a bit different than the equality sign that we use in mathematics. In mathematics, for example, if I say x equals to 5, what it means is value of x is the one to the right hand side is equals to the one in the left hand side, which means 5 equals to 5, which is true. Uh, but this is different in programming or Python. This is mathematics that I'm talking. What it means in Python is actually it's assigning value of 5 to the variable x memory location. Okay, so keep this in mind. So if I say plus equals, that means it's a shorthand representation to x is equals to x plus 3. Uh, so originally x was 5, and then if I say x equals x plus equals to 5, which means x is equals to x plus 5, and x was originally 5, then 5 plus 5, that's going to be 10. So x is going to be updated to be 10. Originally x was 5, now it's going to update it to be 10 on the same exact variable location. The same is true for all the other operators, um, including the exponent operator. Maybe let's just do one example for this to crystallize the concepts. So assignment operator, let's have num just x is equals to 5 and y equals to 2. Then x to the exponent of y, which necessarily means x is equals to x to the exponent of y. So we're going to print after and then give x, and here print before and give x. So before it was 5, now it's 25 because it's been done to the exponent of 2. The other is a comparison operator. A comparison operator is important when we want to compare anything in our program. So let's say if you want to compare y, which is 7, and z, which is 3. So if you would like to compare them, then it's double equality. Now, this double equality is the same as the mathematical equality. But this one, if it's one equality sign, that's actually an assignment operator. So y double equality, z means it checks if y equals to z. And if I say y exclamation equals, that's going to check if it's not equal. So y equals to z, and that's going to be false. Y not equals to z, that's going to be true. The same is true for all the other operators, greater, less than or equals to, and greater than or equals to. But the first when it comes to greater than or equals to or less than or equals to is that it checks the boundary condition. Look, 5, if I say 5 greater than 5, then it's going to be false. But if I add 5 greater than or equals to 5, then it's going to be true because it includes the boundary condition. The way that you can always remember greater than sign and less than sign, the very easy way is, look, greater than is written like this, which means which is greater, but less than is written like this, which is less, and it more like resembles the L. Okay, so you can always remember the less than sign